finishes. Mayo 2-14, Kerry 1-10. Massive result for Mayo. A first win of the Kevin McStay era, and what a win for it, or first league win of the Kevin McStay era. And what a way to do it against the All-Ireland champions in a very, very comfortable, comprehensive and dominant win from Mayo. I mean, the scoreline probably makes it look a little bit more respectable than what it is. But mark my words, this was a domination, an absolute hammering in more ways than one from Mayo, who were absolutely superb. Started on the front foot, started fast with that early Ryan O'Donoghue goal. The intensity that they brought in the first half, the running off the shoulder, it was vintage Mayo, and, organised chaos is what they call it. But that was very organised, and they were very organised in attack and organised in defence. Jordan Flynn, outstanding performance from him, man of the match, 4 points. You can see when Aidan O'Shea, when the ball would be lofted into Aidan O'Shea, Jordan Flynn was often the first man he'd find. And he was outstanding, and he was doing that work around the middle, playing as an extra man in midfield, but he was breaking the lines as well between defence and attack, and he was, physically such a hard player to stop, and he was absolutely outstanding. He was very, very good, I felt. Very, very good performance. And I think one main positive thing from a Mayo perspective is that they're getting scores from a lot of different players. I mean, James Carr has come on leaps and bounds under Kevin McStay. He's starting to add a lot of consistency to his game. Another banging goal from him with his right boot. No way the keeper could save it. Low and hard, as they say. Fantastic finish. 2 points as well to go with it. And Aidan O'Shea didn't score, but again, he was getting into the right places at the right time, setting up scores, winning fouls, and it looks like Mayo are finally getting the best out of Aidan O'Shea after all these years. Since 2017, really 2018, really, since we've seen him consistently at his brilliant best. So that's great to see from a Mayo perspective. And defensively, they were just able to shut out Kerry, who were struggling to do that. And I suppose, speaking about Kerry, I mean, very, very abject performance from them in the first half. And yes, you can look at it and think you have players missing, and David Clifford and Sean O'Shea came on at half time. Paddy Clifford was fairly anonymous. You nearly forget he was out there playing. He got substituted with about 5 minutes to go and didn't really have too much of an impact in the game. It was a tough game for him to get involved in, to be fair, the way the sort of game was flowing. He struggled, but yeah, it was disappointing. Donald O'Sullivan didn't get much ball played into him, to be fair. Struggled. Darragh Roach looked good in the first half at times with 2 scores, but yeah, it was just very, very lackluster and abject, and shooting wise as well from Kerry perspective. You wouldn't associate them with the wides that they had. I mean, I seen on the GA Statsman's stats for the Mayo Kerry game, Kerry had 23% accuracy in the first half. That is atrocious. That is really, really poor, and not something you'd normally associate with Kerry. Look, there's no reason for panic. I still have Kerry as favourites. You've seen, even when David Clifford and Sean O'Shea came on, it took a bit of time, but once Kerry got into their groove, you could see, the talent levels that they have. You could see how good they are. And David Clifford, was only on the pitch for a half, but looked very, very good at times, and he was causing havoc. He was causing problems for the Mayo defence. But, you would look at Kerry defensively and think they only conceded 2 goals, I think, in the league and championship last year. They conceded 2 goals in that first half, and they were cut open on a couple of occasions, and, arguably could have conceded more goals. So that sort of defensive solidity that we associate with Kerry from Paddy Talley coming in as a defensive coach and coming into the backroom team, that wasn't on display at all. And then it was their strongest fullback line, like Tom O'Sullivan, Graham O'Sullivan, and Jason Foley, all started in the All-Ireland final. Tyg Morley started as well. Paul Murphy started. You still have Gavin White to come back and Shane Ryan, but generally speaking, it was Kerry's best defence, more or less, that they had available to them. And they were just cut open, absolutely cut to pieces. And that would be a worry, I think, from a Jack O'Connor perspective, because that is something that they do need to work on. But you don't want to panic too much. It's only when you start seeing these results consistently that you would panic. from a Kerry perspective. But I think they're still the favourites in my opinion for the All Ireland. They'll still be thereabouts. But from a Mayo perspective, they will be absolutely overjoyed with, their fans will be absolutely delighted. Their first win over Kerry since the Super 8s in 2019, actually. So that goes to show how long, it's been a good couple of years, 4 years since Mayo last beat Kerry in either league or championship. So massive, massive win for the Mayo men. And I suppose a word on Mayo's defence. We were talking about Kerry not having their, some of their best players available to them. But let's not forget that Mayo, Lee Keegan retired. Ushie Mullen's gone to play AFL. You've got David McBride coming into that fullback line. Rory Brickenden. Enda Hession's been a player who's sort of been on the fringes the last couple of years and played a little bit, but sometimes at wing back. And he's the most experienced player in that fullback line, and he's only been playing like 2 or 3 years. So yeah, Colm Reap, new man between the sticks. So look, for Mayo to look as good as they did defensively in the first half, Kerry couldn't get any goal chances. They struggled to create opportunities, and it was all down to the great work of Mayo's defence, I felt, who done a very, very good job. And yes, they conceded that goal from Barry O'Sullivan late on, but I think that was just more of a consolation than anything else, in my opinion. Plenty of comments flying in there. Podrick Stacks says, should TG Cahir have English commentary too? I mean, yeah, maybe, some would say maybe they should, but I suppose it is I suppose the whole point is for people to be speaking Oscuelga and learn the language. And I suppose if you could switch it into English, it would probably, it'd probably take that away. But Rory says, wasn't expecting that win. And can Kerry come back from this? And yeah, look, I think they will. I think when you get David Clifford, Sean O'Shea starting the next day, they'll be fine. They won't be, fair enough. They've lost 2 of their opening 3 games, but they're not going to be in any relegation battles. Like they'll be perfectly fine. And once we get to the business end of the championship, they'll be ticking, and they will be thereabouts. But there is a good bit to work on, certainly. Like defensively, I think there's a good bit to work on. And maybe the mentality a little bit, because they did look like a lack of effort at times from Kerry in that game. And fair enough, it is the league, and it's early days and everything else, and it's not an All-Ireland final, it's not an All-Ireland semi-final, but you want to see consistency. And I think what led Kerry to be as good as what they were last year was their consistency in the league, and winning breeds confidence. You want to win trophies, you want to be as successful as you can be. And also what you've done is given Mayo the edge. And if Mayo and Kerry play each other in the championship, Kevin McStay will tell his troops that, look, you went out there and you bet them already once this year, just go out and do it again. And those kind of results and those kind of things stand to you. So yeah, huge result for Mayo. Jordan Flynn, man of the match in my opinion. I thought he was outstanding. One man of the match on TG Cahir as well, and rightly so. I think he was brilliant, like defensively as well, outstanding. But there's not a Mayo player you could fault. Like midfield, Matthew Rowan, Jeremy O'Connor, very good. Boat looked very, very solid. So a solid performance from Mayo from 1 to 15. Colm Reap scoring a couple of 45s. So yeah, a lot to be positive for from a Mayo perspective. I don't think it's time for the Mayo for Sam Brigade and all this crack just yet. I think Mayo fans have been down that road on more than one occasion, and obviously it hasn't quite worked out. But look, enjoy the win, enjoy it, celebrate it. Just don't get too ahead of yourselves, because there's a long way to go yet. There's a lot of work to be done. And, when we get to August, or, well, obviously not August, it will be May or June, Mayo already in an All-Ireland quarterfinals, semi-finals, which I think they should be, and I think they will be. As long as they keep playing like this, that's then when I think you start to dream, But look, hugely enjoy the win, because it was outstanding. And, if Mayo can keep playing like that, and if they play like that in the business end of the championship, there'll be some team to beat. And the thing is about Mayo is that they just never really go away, do they? They never go away, and I think they will be thereabouts this year, in my opinion. But yeah, let me know your opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you're watching live, if you could hit the like button and subscribe, be much appreciated. And if you're watching the match reaction after, hit the like button. All the rest, subscribe. And yeah, we'll be going live tomorrow for the watch along of the Dublin and Cork game with Matthew Hurley. So Division 2 Classic, the Capital against Cork. So that should be hugely entertaining. And yeah, I'll be watching a few of the other games as well. Roscommon going up against Armagh. That'll be another great game to watch as well. I suppose lastly, Keane says Kerry were well off it tonight, and they certainly were. They have a lot to work on. But yeah, cheers anyone who tuned in, and I'll see you all later.